Welcome to BCH Nightshift. I'm Kyle, also known as Sayoshi Nakamario. In this, I'm going to go over some of the past BCH news that I've seen and kind of be like a devlog for myself to show people kind of what I'm working on. To start with, let's get into, I announced Lifestone Labs. So this is something that I'm doing, trying to do smart contract auditing. So I've learned Cash Script quite a bit and feel like I have a decent grasp of it. And I've done a couple things that are actually doing stuff, which is kind of cool. So I am offering my services to help people do audits and try to find bugs and stuff in their contracts. So far, there is this a cash starter example contract I've done, which we can open up here. And this is for cash starter, which is the contract behind fundme.cash. So this is crowdfunding on Bitcoin Cash, and just kind of shows the layouts. My current design is a little bit different than this already, but it kind of shows the general example. To quickly go over, I seem to do things a little bit differently than a lot of EVM audits, where you have your findings and severity. So if there's issues or potential issues, they'll show up here. I also have transactions and trust levels. So this is a little difference, and I'm kind of looking at this more from like the user point of view of what the user might want to know. So we'll get into that in a little bit. This shows kind of like the layout of the contract system. So cash starter is pretty simple. You have a manager contract that the users interact with, which creates campaigns, and then the campaigns on the cash starter contract itself can interact with these other little function NFTs. So this just kind of gives a quick overview of the project, the bird's eye view. And then you go down into the contracts themselves. So these are the cash starter contract. This is the address that it lives at. And these are the two functions that are involved in that, or can be called in that contract. And then a little description of what they do. So these are the actual transactions that the contract or the application can do, or the DApp, whatever you want to call it. So I divide it into different trust levels. So a trustless transaction is going to be something where the contract is like extremely explicit about what can and can't happen, and the chance of somebody losing money or value is basically zero because the contract forces everything to happen a certain way. And then like that's like the gold standard in my mind, at least. And then going up each level, there's downsides, but there's also potential upsides depending on what your the purpose is. So in this example, creating a campaign, it's marked as front-end trusted, and it shows you what it does, the actual function that you're, or the purpose of this transaction, the functions that are involved. So in this case, it's only the initialize on the cash starter manager contract, and then it gives you a little explanation of why it's considered front-end trusted. So in this case, it's when you're creating a campaign, the front end has to actually put in how much BCH a campaign is going to take, or try to raise, and what block the campaign ends at. So the user is kind of trusting the website or the app or wallet or whatever integrates Cash Starter to put the right values in. It's like the user should pick these values, and the front end should just kind of let those values go over to the contract. But technically, the front end can change those values to whatever it wants. And going down, pledging to a campaign, and then, yeah, basically just the transactions in each, and it has explanations on each. So that's kind of what the transactions are at a high level. Findings would be like actual potential problems or major security things that could be changed, but it kind of depends on what the creator is going for. So these are being a little nitpicky on my end, but the change amount for BCH, for example, isn't enforced in the cash starter contracts, and it could be enforced. It adds a little more complexity to the contracts, but basically, this is just saying that the change for the user isn't forced to go back to the user. So there's a little recommendation here saying you could do this, and then the project owner, in this case me, acknowledges in the audit that it is acknowledged, and then they can give a little response. So saying that, in a future version of the contract, we could add this in. And then just another issue there. And that's just like a super simple, basic example. I am doing one of these for parity, which is going to be much, much bigger. It is a very big application. So that's basically Lifestone Labs. Not no like no real traction on it yet, but early days. I guess just go over full. It is technically. I'm throwing out a price. By default, $50 Canadian an hour. Also payable in BCH. And everything's just time tracked, so I can track all my hours and base billing off of that. If you want to contact me for an audit, or even potential something else, you can just toss in some information here or contact me on Telegram or something. Another thing that's been going on is that there was this konk fund me that succeeded. So konk is a marketplace. So this is konk.market and is the website. And this is being created by Neon Dathal. If I have the spelling on that right, pronunciation. So this is just a marketplace, Amazon style, for Bitcoin Cash, with Bitcoin Cash support for Bitcoin Cash. And the only reason I'm excited about this is that I have some random like little pins and stuff that I made for badgers and fund me and stuff like that, that I want to sell. And if there's a built-in marketplace I can throw them up on, I'd be happy with that. So I'm personally happy that this thing got funded to get developed, and I'm hoping that this comes out. I don't think it's you can use it yet, but it's something that he's working on, so that's awesome. If you wanted to check it out yourself, it's campaign number 76 on Fund Me, so you can check the archives for that to see all the notes for it. Besides that, there is the BCH1 hackathon that is currently going on right now, although I think it's in like submission mode. So you can't technically submit right now. And it is, I think, like $20,000 US. Yeah. There's only one build in it right now, but 54 hackers on it. So if you're interested in doing something for BCH and learning smart contracts, or even just enabling BCH, I think some of the tracks allow you to just build, can be like games, for example, like I was doing, and put them in and maybe get some funding on it. There's the Telegram group for it, and I've seen some people in it looking to make teams and stuff. So if this is something that you're interested in, even if you are learning from scratch, I would say go for it. And if you want to make a game specifically, you can contact me, and I will not make the game for you, but I will definitely suggest how maybe cash script contracts could be integrated into it, and even start you on the path of like how it would look like, give you like a little template type thing or something. So if you're interested in that, give me a shout. Besides that, I'm considering at least attending the Futures Conference in Toronto next summer, July. Zero planning has been done on this. I've contacted them for some pricing and stuff, but that's as far as it's gone so far. Haven't heard back yet. So I specifically for a booth for BCH to rep BCH basically. So I've been to one of these a couple of years ago, and it was very large. Lots of different chains involved, most of them EVM. There was no BTC presence basically, except for one guy that had like a little wheel that he spun, and it was just kind of like joke, but he had like a BTC shirt on and type stuff. There was no other BTC as far as I knew there. So, but I think it would be good to get some BCH rep going on at more conferences and stuff like that. So actually running a little booth and having BCH there and showing off some of our smart contract stuff, depending on the price, if it's, I'm assuming it's actually going to cost quite a bit of money, and this is something I would never be able to afford. So this would definitely be a fund me, and seeing if the community wants to support it. But that's one thing that I'm looking at. So this is, July, late July, and well after Bliss. And I don't know, we'll see what happens with this. Just wanted to toss that out there. Besides that, I very quickly joined the Blaze hackathon that is now over. In the same vein as everything else, I made like a quick little game with the Badgers NFTs and technically the token, the Badger token or Badger coin. And I submitted Badger Survivors. So this is like a little Vampire Survivors clone. And it does technically work for connecting your Bitcoin Cash wallet and stuff like that. And I'll just quickly run through. This is something I should have done for the hackathon, and I just didn't have time because, like, literally a couple minutes before the deadline for submitting, I was like frantically trying to get it online and get like the form filled out and stuff, just because I had like a day to work on this. So, uh, you select your badger, start game, and everything was, I'll turn down the sound just a little bit more. Oh, not all the way. Um, Everything in this was just kind of like prototyping. So nothing is balanced in any way, but it was just kind of like, what can I do and add? So it's like I got little beetle pets that will go out and attack the monsters. You have like random little honey splash thing where it just kind of like throws those out, but it slows enemies that walk through it as well. Those not very noticeable. Fairy Swarm is like the typical like holy book or holy Bible item from Vampire Survivors. And there was another one that hasn't come up yet. That actually triggers an ability. So if you hit E, it'll actually like teleport dash you across, which is not something I think Vampire Survivors has. We have actually like abilities in the game, and it's basically all it is, just but like a couple dozen items and stuff like that. However, the purpose of this game originally that I set for myself was that there was going to be a boss at the end, and it was going to be a BTC something, like a BTC coin or something like that. And you're the BCH badger, so you got to defeat the evil BTC thing. I never got that far, and the boss is like kind of bugged out. If I actually set boss to go, there's also this dialogue system I threw in as well, so it's going to be like some actual dialogue stuff. So you can see the tiny little boss is like a skeleton right there, and I don't know why it's using the skeleton texture. I couldn't figure it out fast enough. And if you check the hitbox is wildly off. So I never did figure out what that was. I never really looked into it though. But however, the dialogue system didn't really work, or I think I might just not have had enough time. So I actually have a new version of the game that I spent a couple more hours working on, and I've already connected my wallet to it. So if we start game, it's the other one does this too. So the actual URL is badgers.cash/game. So if you do connect to your wallet and you have a badger, it'll show up here, and you can click on it. Shows you what ID it is. It shows you the stats off of the NFT, what your health and stuff like that is. So like health is normally 100, but this badger has more stamina, 3 stamina on it, so it bumps its health up 30. The thing with the badger coins was that I think it works. I've never tested it myself. If you have badger coins on the NFT, so the actual badger NFT itself, if you put badger coins onto that UTXO, it'll cause the monsters in the game spawn more. And I think it goes up to like 1,000 or 10,000% or something silly. It'd probably crash the game if you max it out, I'm guessing. But yeah, that's just something I never tested. So if we start, oh, it's bugged out. Look at that. Let's give it a refresh. There are multiple crashes and random things in this game, so. All right, so now it's starting. So, I mean, just playing this myself, it's because he has more speed. He's just like way quicker. If you hit, Burrow Burst. So this is the one where if you press E, it actually kind of teleports you over somewhere. And then down here, you can see that there's like a little cooldown happening until you can use it again. I'll hit F1 to bring up the little cheat menu, and let's do like beetles max out. And I think that maxed them out. I'm not sure. Usually it turns purple down there. Maybe those ones don't. Again, very janky. I need something better. Let's do a beam. Oh, I don't think I can. Oh, I got too many things. This is gonna suck. Okay, anyways, let's try the boss. So the little bit thing different with this is that he has taunts. Yes. So this was supposed to be BTC. and he has 3 phases. So now he's in phase 2. And the cocky little freak is a callback to Star Fox. So, you know, and now he's phase 3. So the upgrade I did on those beetles definitely did impact it because their damage goes insane when they're max level. So yeah, I don't know. That was like a quick little, like, day and a half maybe at most of trying to do something, and it's basically just doing the game itself because it's stuff that I want to do. And then just kind of throwing the Badger NFTs and coins into it. So this was 100% vibe coded. Just like I've done games that to this level, like I've never actually released a real game, but doing them like this, I've done a couple times, but I didn't even try to look at the code while doing this. So if you want to get into gaming and want to learn how to code, you can do it. You can just, yeah, there's lots of tutorials out there, but grab Cursor or something, get a basic subscription to a AI or something like that, and just kind of throw stuff at it and go the extra step of trying to like look at kind of what it's doing over time to try and pick up the actual coding part, because things will go gigantically better if you do learn to code and you just don't fully vibe code it. Because then you can actually fix things when you have time rather than just pounding on the AI constantly, screaming at it. So that's basically what I've been working on the last couple of months. I haven't had much crypto time in general because there's too much other stuff I have going on. But I've kind of been passively sitting on the side watching the narratives go around with BTC land and how they're freaking out about everything from quantum computers to fee market, sustainability, and it's just I'm very happy that we dodged that entire bullet, and BCH seems to be in a very good place right now, and more and more people are starting to notice, it seems like, which is really cool. And I do know that Bliss is coming up in May. That's some point. We'll hear some more. But it's something that it would definitely be worth going. I don't know if I'm going myself. We'll see. It depends on things. It would be cool to go. It's just being Western Canada, it is a very long flight. And it's not super fun. But Bliss itself is very fun. So I don't know. Might be there, might not. If you're interested in BCH, especially if you're in Europe, definitely I would suggest going because was a very fun time. And I will try to keep these going depending on my time and keep them brief and short. And I'll see you on the next one.
The Bitcoin Cash Army, rise up, unite. From wallets to dexes, the future is bright. Flip, start, or fund me, funding what's real. BCH bulls, got your hedge and deal. Gurus with vision, price music predict. Badger, start staking, unlock with a click. Cauldrons brew and trace, no middleman fees. Raw cash with rights. Tracks with ease. Decentralized power, no leader in sight. Changing the world, we accept the fight. Foundations tremble, all systems decay. Bitcoin Cash is paving the way. We're the Bitcoin Cash Army, rise up, unite. From wallets to dexes, we're ready to fight. The BCH podcast. The foundation has a free sticker deal. Developers rising, the code's getting tight. Conferences sparking, innovation all night. Contracts brewing, apps on the way. Growing adoption every single day. We're surpassing the king, reclaiming the crown. Bitcoin Cash is where freedom's found. The bells all one. Truth shining bright, a warning to those still lost in the fight. Get on on board, or be consumed by the blight.